Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Planet Nomads. Now, I have already placed the new base down over here where my mining rig was before, as I said, and I actually had to save, place it down. Okay, that didn't quite work. Reload, place it down again. That didn't quite work. Reload, place it down again. So this is several attempts later, and it is a decent base. It's got a lot of capabilities, but it has to do with both the requirement of where you're going to place the base itself. Like, it definitely works better for a flat area and having your resource deposits in certain locations. It's also a problem with the way you cannot place the ghost outline of the blueprint down and then move it if you need to where you can actually adjust things well. It makes it a little difficult, so it took a lot of time to get it in the place I want it to be. But here it is. We're going to do a quick little tour. We'll start here with a little balcony where I can just kind of, you know, step out. And we are here in the big, well, medium-sized hangar bay. And basically, we did this last time. I did this little part where turning this on releases the door here, so you can fly something inside and then land it. And when you look at it from like there, it's really not that much room. So it's more like a small, medium type hangar. Now, turning that off does not retract. That's what the top one is for. The top one will activate it and cause them to retract, which is interesting because you basically just got power going up here. And it's kind of, you know, like the top one is splitting up to there. And that's splitting off there. And it's just got all this sort of little stuff going on. And it's a little confusing for me at the moment. So, skipping that, we go through here. We're on another little outside balcony area, which has got a nice little look down. And I did, you know, build it close to the water, so it has a nice little oceanfront view or lakefront view. Coming in this way, we're now into our little interior area, which really isn't that much of an interior area because it's not sealed. I am still affected by outside temperature because of the open gaps here, which does tie everything in nicely with these, but it leaves that, you know, temperature variation to be a potential problem. Coming along, one thing I would like to see more of would be also the addition of water pumps. I didn't find any water pumps, and it seems to have a very limited amount of storage compared to others that I've looked at. Another thing is, you've got the large container, and that's basically it. You got another large container here, a bunch more of those, and that's really the big bulk of it. The rest is in production elements, like the mining rigs, the generators, and everything. Which, speaking of generator, it's uranium generator. I thought it was going to be deuterium. So, this is much more ideal if you build it on top of a uranium deposit, where it can be harvesting your power source right there. And I do have one harvesting right here. It's working pretty well for that, which is good. I would still have to build something out and tie it in for the water pumps to work. And looking at it, there really is limitation on what I can do without major changes to tie everything in with a water pump system elsewhere. There's also the elevator here, which you actually, when you're up top, was it? No, this one. When you go up top, the only way to release it back down is to use that, and something broke. It did not pull all the way up like it's supposed to. Something's broken. Fortunately, when you go here, the elevator's the first one there. But yeah, for some reason it got stuck that time. I'm not sure why. It's a nice base design in its own right, but because of the way the mining rigs are laid out, it really doesn't work for me, because you need to find a set of resource deposits in kind of that arrangement, which is why I still have my previous save, so before I actually deployed this. So I'm actually going to reload that, and we're going to go instead and do something else for our base here. So the design I want to try now is the Ep30 by the same creator, Marcus Aquila, who did the other one. Fortunately, it's pretty much similar build components other than the electronic parts. I was actually 3 short, but hey, there's resource deposits here, so I went ahead and grabbed what I needed. And you see, this one it seems like it's going to be a little bit more forgiving in terms of finding that flat area, because you have more of a You can turn it sideways type thing. Of course, there it goes. Okay. It's like it's not wanting to let me build it actually in a flat area. Wanted to make it where I just basically drop it in. Oh, you can even see there are more mining rigs there. So I'm going to try and maneuver it. If I actually tell. Yeah, you can see just by doing it that way, I get a little glimpse of how the auto miners are working. Right there. I don't want to bury too much. We'll try this way. Just see how it turns out. Alright, it is done. And while it doesn't have the perfect alignment I might like towards the water's edge, it does line up at least. Hopefully where it is producing a good bit of carbon and iron, which will make things a lot easier for me. So let's go ahead and jump in here. If I can. Obviously we got a door right there. And a nice set of stairs, and you can walk all the way up to the top of this tower. But it should also have maybe an elevator, I hope. And it seems like the doors never want to work automatically. Even though they're set to auto, they just don't seem to want to work for that. So yeah, we've got iron and carbon going, which arguably the most valuable ones in terms of the ones you'll use the most. That's getting actually some. That's getting a little. We'll just let those go. Yeah, that works. So one little strip of mining rigs instead of a long group. And then we have these little parts here. Looks like you can actually attach through, and it's attached at that point that goes up top. It looks like, yeah, we might have like several spots where you can add more storage to it. We also got that right there. It just kind of goes all the way up. Here's the elevator. Of course, we got to take that out. Take the wedge out of it. There we go. Drop down. And which ones? What's the on switch for this? I feel like I need to get further back. I will look more like I might get hurt. Okay, so I guess I stand here. And then, there we go, elevator. So, on, ow. It's stuck. Something has gotten stuck on it. So there's these. Okay, so I guess that's to help with controlling which floor it goes to, maybe, but it doesn't exactly stop it at the right floor. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit, see how that's supposed to work. And now the elevator's turned off and it's not dropping. So yeah, this one may be just as problematic. I'm actually just be better going back to the Leviathan and using it. I wanted something more land-based, but hey, the Leviathan's got a lot of production capabilities. It just doesn't have any of the resources being brought in. Let's see, we got this door here. Brings me outside, so yeah, I can basically just go up each floor this way. So at least I'm not stuck relying on the elevator that seems to be not working quite right at the moment. Got a bunch of 3D printers, all of them tied in together and all linked back through there. So instead of tying into both sides, it's linked like this one connects to this, and then it connects to the output on there. So they link together just through their own connections. And then we have medium refineries. Alright. Bunch of refineries, which means I need a bunch of water. I need to get something going out from here to the water's edge, or just drill down, dig down deep enough to expose some water below the surface level, so I can then start pumping water in and making tons of deuterium. Pad machine, med bays. You know, I really don't ever use med bays. It's just not something I find that necessary in the game right now. I'm not sitting here in combat So I never really have anything that's hurting me like that, you know? And armory. Of course, my sleeping point. Some personal storage, as well as just a access point for all the storage. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, we do have uranium generator. Well, that's nice, but I want to get deuterium going. And we're still going up. And you see what happens is the floors get a little bit shorter each time for the design that goes at a slope on the outside. And here we have our solar panels. And we have some more up here at the very top, where the very topmost section of the elevator is. Solar panels there, solar panels all around here. So for the most part, you should be pretty good with just solar power on everything. And not to worry about it. Oh, look, see, I've already got some water. That didn't come all the way down like it needed to. So I will, if I keep it, which I'm thinking I will, I'll just have to put some more, you know, more blocks around hiding stuff, and then find some way to put everything in the way I want it to. And there we go. All right, so here's the big storage. My uranium generator. Let me see how it links together, because oh man, that's irritating. Look how much it is connected to just off this one. Ah, that's irritating. It really should be like just connecting to one and then branching off from there. So if you want to switch from using the uranium generator, you can. You can say, like, you know what, just put a deuterium generator in and I don't have to do anything different with it. And no, let me make sure I have... Yeah, let me see. Don't I have a larger deuterium generator? Yeah, my big one, which that's 1.8K, that's 8K. That's more than what the uranium generators will produce. So we'll just stick with the small one then. That's enough. Now I just need to... Oh, of course, I don't have any supplies right now. I need to get some stuff going. Yeah, that's irritating to have it done like that and have it break like that. I think, yeah, I don't think I care for this one either, really, all that much. There's some nice things about it, but some things were not planned for in the long run. You know, again, the placing things doesn't work quite so well. I probably should have just buried it and then dug through the dirt a bit to get that to work right. I think I'm going to need to find something else instead. So I'm actually back at my tower base now, because it takes less time to fly to my tower base with the recent updated version of the air miner than it does to build some of these bases. And I came here to get a couple of supplies I needed specifically, so we're going to try this one. And it is a water-bound craft, so it's not over the top. Yeah, I could have done it over there at the Leviathan, but I would have had to go find supplies for two specific components I needed more of. So this was just easier to come back here. Well, that didn't work so well. It dropped in the water and immediately sank and flipped over. So that's not a very good start to this design. I was kind of hoping this might be a fun little design, but immediately flips over once it lands in the water. Okay, trying it again, and this time basically putting it into the water to start with, so it didn't sink so far down when it actually completed, and it worked this time. So we've got a working little floating base. It's got a spot here, and we're inside. Oh, look at this. You know, you got, I guess that's the forward momentum controls. Let's try this. Oh yeah, look. Now it's actually moving. I mean, you know, it's on water. It's not exactly the fastest thing. It also seems to be slowly turning to the right. You notice I'm going straight ahead. You can see the trees in the distance, and even the pointer for north is slowly coming towards the middle. So it's got a turn. It's not an even thrust setup, apparently. Something didn't get set up quite the same on both sides. Alright, so we've got 3D printer. We got some storage there. I'm assuming that is kind of connecting in. Or it's not. Personal storage, okay. Got our little sleeping pad, which dumps me outside. So there's a problem. That's kind of an issue if it's like, you know, you do that and then it dumps you out into the water this time. Fab machine, refinery, which is kind of, you know, ideal with this because, I mean, you know, you want water pumps. The only thing you're missing, of course, is the fact that you don't have any kind of mining really going. There's no mining rigs on this because if there were, you'd have to be doing it where it deploys them downward, and that could be an interesting thing to have on here, something with like a winch where you're like, oh hey, I found a resource deposit down here because I came and went diving and dug around a bit and found this little deposit. Now I'm going to let this winch drop this mining rig down and harvest for me, then pull it back up to get the resources into the container and production system. Overall, it's a nice little thing. It's not super fancy. And it's got storage there. I guess that's the water pump, you know, storage and water pump storage. We've got main switch, okay, and pump switch, hybrid solar power switch, and cabin switch. So let's... Actually, I think I like this better, especially that little bit of light there. That might be the external lights. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Look at this. Nice sunny day. You sit out, enjoy the natural light, and then at night, sit back and look at the stars. Oh, let's see. Where can I take this? I mean, I can take this pretty much anywhere. I'm thinking I'm going to actually keep this one for a bit, just because. And let's see. All right, so that's hybrid power. Where's my actual generator that's producing everything? I see my water pumps there. And they're not on. There we go. Alright, so we got some water going. Obviously, you're meant to use deuterium in this. You just gotta find a spot to get some, get your carbon. And oh, it's right there underneath, next to the two water pumps. So yeah, I don't have much in the way of power usage on this right now. Let's say that was 3 minutes left on the generator. See if I can actually still see it in here. Kind of, I might be able to. As long as I don't... Well, yeah, okay, it's not going to let me fall. So that's good. There we go. You just got to aim just right. That's generator number 2. Alright, 2 minutes. 1 minute. And that's, oh yeah, that's draining fairly quickly. Let's turn off the pumps. So, yeah, it's still draining a lot. Let's see, that was solar hybrid. Yep. How bad is it? That's a little bit different. So that's what it is. The solar hybrid is basically causing that fluctuation as it's getting solar power. And let's see, oh, you got a dispenser there so you can build. Assuming you go find a good way to get some supplies in here. Which is basically going to be like, yeah, you need to have something that trunks back to here from shore and feeds in. And what I think would be nice for that, something to consider, maybe if the creator sees this video, is maybe conveyor connectors on the outside, so you have 2 spots. So like, oh yeah, I'm going to winch to this. Disconnect winch. I don't see where it's connected to. But yeah, have it where if you connect like up to your boat dock on your design, on your base, and you decide, hey, I want to connect in here with this, great. You can do that, so you can share anything it's gotten, ready to go. It can also be one of those that if you maybe have it where it could be lifted up into a bigger vessel, like have the vessel drop down on top of it, latch onto the winches, and then, you know, haul it up into a docking hold or something like that. So this next design I'm doing is one I've actually wanted to try really full out since I originally looked at it just for fun in creative mode, and that is the Mobile Base Mark IV by Torgrim. Now, it's still building, but as you can see, even after setting up to build, I'm only a little shy on basic frames and 1 seed to get it again, to build a second one. Now, what I missed when I first checked this out in creative was I didn't try the additional designs that go with it. I actually found where there's clearly marked points for other designs to fit in, but I did not try them. One of those is the Dragonfly, which is a little, you know, flying thing just to get you around. And then this Mini Rover, which is extremely cheap as well. It's just very basic. We're going to go ahead and build them both just because. And we're going to see how all 3 of these look together. Alright, so first up, we got the little Mini Rover, which honestly to me looks basically like what a Mars rover would be for like a single person to go exploring around on Mars or on the moon. You know, the wheels, the lights, power of a deuterium generator or cockpit, and then we have a winch on it, which seems to be maybe for some kind of, you know, connection to the mobile base. And then we have a set of compact containers. The Dragonfly is very much similar to it, except of course it's a flying design. And to me, it makes me think of like a seaplane with the way it's got the 2 pontoons on the side, like what you would have just kind of keep it floating. And you see I'm getting a little bit of stuttering now. It might just be from how long the game's been running. Well, let's take a look. Similar design on the outside area of the mobile base. And, oh, you know, that looks like it could be a door. Like, I see hinge. So that makes me think door for the little Mini Rover. And we'll go on up. There's 2 sides you can walk up on. And we come in. I like the airlock thing on this. That's one thing that impressed me before, is the feel of an airlock where you have that separation not by 1 door but by multiple doors. And we come over to the side. Now we have a little bit of a production area, but mostly it's open, so we can of course go and build some more stuff here. The lights are automatic to help cut down on power usage, and we've got, you know, a little table and seat, you know, sort of not comfortable looking seat, but it's there. You know, personal room, this, you know, your private quarters. In the middle we've got a bay here. Let me see, that's, yeah, okay, this drops us down in here to, yeah, let's see. Alright, that's the winch. Garage, winch, link. And it's definitely stuttering a bit more. Maybe because of everything I've got going on close by. Garage sensor switch. And charging port. Alright, so I guess, you know, it's charging port for it to come in and recharge the little vehicle, maybe? There we go. Okay, so turn that off. Okay, so that's really all it is turn that on, and it opens the garage up. Doesn't seem to open all the way, but let's try this real quick. Let's see. All right, yeah, get my brake lights, you know, all. Oh, go! Ah! Yeah, this might be one to try another time when I don't have so much happening in the same area. I definitely do not feel like I'm supposed to slide this in, but rather I'm supposed to just like land and let it kind of fall into place. Okay, so apparently all you have to do is come here to each joint and go and say, oh, unlock. And then it's going to do like that. So you gotta come here and do that. That's a nice concept. But I feel like because of the limitations in the game, the fact that we don't, you don't want to come out here and have to do this manually every time, that you probably are going to want some way to just hit a button, have it go, and look, that one's not even staying in place. Go. There. No! Yeah, apparently you gotta just really finesse it. It's not as straightforward, simple as the description of the thing says. In my opinion, I think it's like, well, look, I mean, how much faster I move. There's just way too much, I mean, yeah, the acceleration is great for flying around exploring, but this system doesn't work in terms of the docking part as well. You've got just too much acceleration, not enough control. You can't do side to side. It makes this not fit as well as, say, like the cargo container and that docking pad where it slides everything in just perfectly, and that you only have to get somewhat close to it, and then it locks everything in for you because of the quality of the design. Alright, well, that is it for this episode. Unfortunately, I did not find any real base design or mobile base design in that sense that would work in terms of being a real base for me as something I can leave somewhere else. The closest we got is that little floating one, and it's nice for maybe early game, but it does lack the ability to mine on land, so you're going to be still bound to going on land, getting some stuff, and then bringing it back. I really am looking for something that looks better than what I've got, but provides me some of the same function capabilities that I have in my current tower. And that seems to not be the case with any of the designs today. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.